Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. It is so normal to experience loss, pain, and discomfort right before a breakthrough. It's how you know that you're shedding that skin that you no longer need in the next chapter. I really want you guys to start embracing that crash out that needs to happen. It's that very anxious, weird feeling in your chest where you feel burdened by it. It can feel like you have a short fuse or that everything around you is falling apart all at the same time. And just there's so many shifts going on that you cannot keep up with, and it feels completely out of your control. This is how you know that you're experiencing a crazy life shift. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I used to avoid all my crash outs because I used to have a lot of embarrassment and shame around them because I felt like it was a clear telltale sign that I did not have my life together. But the truth is, you don't have it all together. And experiencing that crash out is your way of essentially saying, I relinquish control and I want to become better. I've never been someone who has embraced change. I like my routine. I like the people I see every day. I like doing the same stuff. And it's just how I function happily as a person. But at times, there are certain shifts that we have to inevitably make to grow and become our best selves. And it just takes kind of having that awakening within. Now, if you've been watching me for some time, then you already know how much I love HomeGlow. A little bit about HomeGlow if you are new here and you don't know much about it. It is a 5-star home cleaning platform where you can book an external cleaner in your area to tidy up your space for you. And what I personally love about it is they do the cleaning that I don't necessarily want to do, or I don't find that I do efficiently. And now that the holidays are coming up, I feel like this is the perfect time to hire someone to clean your space because it just takes something off your plate, which is definitely what I'm going to do. It's an easy way to book a cleaner in your area. They also have a membership called the Forever Clean membership, which actually saves you money after every clean. It has the most easy online booking capabilities. You literally just go on the site, you pick a day and a time, and they will tell you the cleaners that are available for that day. You can see their ratings, you can see just what people have reviewed, and it's just a really great way to have some transparency between who you're letting into your home and how well of a job they're gonna do. And 100% of the cleaning fees and the tip goes directly to your cleaner. Now, a little bit about the Forever Clean membership. If you want something that's more regular and you want to save money, it's going to save you $30 an hour on all future cleanings. And you guys can book unlimited cleanings starting at $19 an hour. So it's just a great way to get a luxurious cleaning for an affordable price. So if you guys want to take home cleaning off of your plate this holiday season, then head to homeglow.com/Hailey Gamba to get your first 3 hours of cleaning for just $19. I don't know if you guys feel similarly to me, but as I approach my 30s, I have had such a deep awakening. It's really the duality between desire and contentment that I am always so torn between, or I more so just am aware of. I'm aware that there is a lot of desires and dreams and goals that I have, but I also have a great amount of contentment. Like, I'm really happy with who I am today, where I'm at, and it's a weird push and pull of my current self versus my future self. And that can eventually create some sort of deep emotion within you because it's your way of identifying that the present is not painful. So it's almost like that really crazy excitement about Christmas or a really special event, but still trying to enjoy your current moments. That's kind of how my life feels right now. But there have been moments in this experience and awareness that have caused me to crash out more than once. I love being able to share my personal insights on what has guided me to a happier place and what has allowed me to become more okay with things. There is something so beautiful about just being okay. And I think it took me a long time to even get here because I've always been such a perfectionist and I've always been so obsessed with what reality I can create for myself that when something felt completely out of my hands, I lost control and I completely had an emotional episode. But I really want to kind of help you seek the healer within you and navigate the crash out before the glow up. The first thing you have to understand is that crash outs are necessary to close certain chapters of your life. We need to be able to say, this particular instance in our life needs to be done with. And in order for us to move forward, sometimes a crash out is embraced. It needs to be felt. You need to feel this deep emotion around this loss. It is totally normal. A lot of the times we are holding on to things for dear life because we're afraid of the shift. But in order to ascend, to shift, to grow, to become the person you've always wanted to be, you need to let go. You need to allow this loss to happen. I have met so many people who are awaiting a crash out in their life to make a decision, and I totally get it because it's necessary to feel that deep emotion before you're about to create that shift in your life. There are just certain things that you need to be fed up with, not only with other people, but with yourself. So really own that truth. Understand what it's doing for you. A crash out happens when you are ready to close a chapter. You notice that there's an irritability to your circumstance. I know for me that I crashed out pretty much before every single breakup I've had, where I was having emotional release. I was becoming irritable. I was extremely angry, and I felt pressured by the universe to make a decision. And the truth was, it was because I was being pressured. I was being told that this no longer is serving you. This no longer is helping you. This no longer feels good. So it's kind of like that discomfort within that is guiding you to a better feeling and a better outcome. And a huge part about my own personal awakenings and crash outs was me understanding that I was saying goodbye to my naivety, to my limitations, and to even hope. I think that it's okay to be hopeful about certain things, but there's also a beautiful thing about releasing hope around things that you are aware are not working for you anymore. There is this very beautiful, coy naivety to youth that you learn that as you grow, it no longer serves you because you're more aware, you're wiser, you're seeing things for what they are. And when you start to see things, you can't unsee it. So you have to kind of give yourself the uncomfortable truth that this no longer feels good in my life because now I'm aware of what it's doing to me. And it's kind of understanding that things should hurt and should suck when they are no longer for you. It's like embracing that hurt because you realize that it's the confirmation that you need. Whether it's that relationship that you've been holding on to, or that really toxic friend, or a career that just isn't serving you, you feel that discomfort, that anger, that just complete feeling that this puzzle piece is not matching with the other. You don't want to avoid pain because it elongates the lesson. Okay, the next way to navigate your crash out and to embrace it, to glow up, is to say goodbye to who you used to be, okay? Navigating a crash out is understanding that there's a reason for this deep emotional release. A lot of who we once were is just not who we are today. We know better, we're doing better, our circumstances have changed. A lot of us needed to shift in certain areas in order to notice that who we once were, which was a limited version of ourselves, is no longer feeling like a version that we resonate with, okay? It could be something like people-pleasing, self-pity, self-doubt, having negative self-talk. It could even be just feeling unworthy and insecure. That feeling just no longer suits you. Those traits, those feelings, those ways of how you've identified no longer feel like they fit who you are. And a lot of the times, it's not that you completely transformed and now you're like confident and you're positively speaking about yourself and you just feel so amazing. It's not that. It's that those particular traits, they no longer feel like they can be background noise. You hear them loudly. They are very much present and you don't want them there. It's kind of like that annoying little kid that's always poking you. That's kind of how a lot of these traits that we've outgrown feel like to us. We don't necessarily feel 100% different, but we no longer want to feel like that. So I really think it's important to understand that if something isn't bearable anymore to deal with, to release it, to let it go. And sometimes you have to do certain exercises to release these things and to become the new version of you. That could be something like getting rid of some of the clothing pieces that trigger that feeling within you, or different items that are in your home or in your life that feel like a part of your past, putting them in a box and tucking it away. It could also be just writing a letter to your past self and saying, I thank you for carrying me to this point, but I no longer need you. And just kind of allowing yourself to release whatever type of spiritual hold this thing has on you, that you can let it go with ease. And I promise you, it's the release that you've been waiting for. In every single one of my own personal crash outs, I had to say goodbye to certain versions of myself. So I'll give an example, right? One of the most recent crash outs about a relationship was realizing that I was playing small in all of my dynamics. I was so okay with potential. I was okay with somebody who had growth potential. But what I realized was that they're not okay with me being who I am. It makes them feel small. It challenges their ego. And a lot of men have a hero complex and want to save the day. And if you do not need to be saved, it could really make someone feel insecure about being in the company of someone who is very self-actualized and feels good in their skin. So I say all this to say that the release that I had to have was with my past self that was okay with potential. My release and my crash out was around me trying to shapeshift and control situations by being what I thought someone else needed. So it was my own people-pleasing habits that I had to release in order to grow, and realizing that keeping them would actually hurt me more than it would help. And yes, it might mean temporary pain, discomfort, loneliness, but it's better than the alternative, which is just straight up unhappiness. Okay, next up, you need to deal with your anger and pain. What does this particular chapter of your life require? When you're going through a crash out, whenever you try to avoid the pain, like I've said, it just elongates the lesson, and it also makes you feel like you can't safely have emotions. Solitude, isolation, new connections. What exactly do you need to bring into this next chapter? During my crash outs, I usually need to pull back my energy. I need to take it all back, reflect, and isolate. And by isolate, I don't mean to never talk to anyone, but I just mean pouring into myself in a different way. It's me kind of being able to selfishly spoil myself and give myself everything I need during this time, while also still honoring the fact that I don't feel my best. I'm not trying to necessarily make myself feel better, but I'm trying to alchemize my pain into power and trying to make my pain, my anger, my bitterness work for me. Maybe it's pouring into hobbies or starting something new, moving to a new city, changing your circle of influence, whatever that is, okay? Sometimes you just need to break it down to figure out what exactly it is that you need during this time. And what this does is it allows you to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. A lot of the times what you realize is that when you actually start to face the things that cause you discomfort, it's not as bad as you thought it was gonna be. And there's always like some beauty, lesson, and blessing all within this. I always notice during my own crash outs that I learn something new about myself. And I get more things done that I've been putting off when I was distracting myself with other things. You just get better at doing hard stuff when you embrace this moment. And also, it builds that armor that you need for the next chapter of your life, because whether it's stepping into a new powerful position or dating someone that is so much more self-actualized, more intelligent, and requires you to be your best self, this builds that armor for you to be able to handle that with ease. So you're not stepping into any chapter with feeling that imposter syndrome around taking on that role. In hindsight, the reflection is profound. When you step back and you welcome that anger, you welcome that pain, and you force yourself into isolation and solitude, you kind of realize that all the things that you once really enjoyed or wanted, you no longer do. Every single time I am in a crash out, I am so aware of the fact that I now realize why certain things didn't work out for me. I noticed that I would never feel peace, comfort, chosen, or seen in any of the dynamics that I lost, in any of the situations or circumstances that just didn't work out for me. So yes, the crash out needed to happen because there was so much change, but the hindsight is realizing that the change was the best thing that happened to you. And you also just realize that you would have not have fulfilled your purpose had other things worked out for you. And lastly, to embrace the crash out and to glow up. This is so important, and it's to change your environment. You know how they say that when you go to AA, the first thing that they tell people is to stop frequenting the places that they went to when they were struggling with alcohol addiction. And it's because frequenting the same place that brought you pain and discomfort will only make you go back to the old habits. So you need to understand that in order for the rebirth to happen, that the environment that you're in needs to change, because this will help you with your habits, with your discipline, with your glow up, with your journey in general, because it will create new things for you, new experiences, new proof that things are going to work out. You just cannot thrive in an environment that made you sick. It's impossible. So whether that requires you to move, to change your circle of influence, to redirect your energy to frequent new places, to get rid of some vices and places that have them out of your life, you will then see the change when you remove these things. And yes, maybe those places gave you temporary relief, but overall, it creates more of a distraction and more anger than anything else. I noticed that when I removed myself from certain public environments that were constantly having me meet people that were beneath my level of consciousness. And I just said, okay, rather than me constantly doing the work and thinking I'm discerning enough to encounter these people, why don't I just remove myself from environments where that type of person is the norm? I no longer frequent places that cause me to struggle in honoring my newfound discernment and my new life. I rather just remove myself, hard stop, and change. And this will allow you to create new purpose and start over. So in order to start over, you need to start doing something new. Frequent a new coffee shop, move somewhere else, change your environments that you hang out with your friends. Even when it pertains to the type of people that you invite in your day-to-day life, maybe you need to remove yourself from some of those circles and create a new circle of influence. It could even be just as simple as talking to somebody on the phone every day who is extremely toxic and maybe limiting it to once a week or once a month. This is going to be a way for you to create a new habit and a new life for yourself that allows you to feel more aligned to your higher purpose. It is so okay to experience these deep feelings, and it's so normal, and I get it. And it's just your way of releasing the old and bringing in the new. Really embrace this time by saying that it's totally okay to feel this way and to look at it as a blessing. It's going to guide you in the next chapter, and it's building you up to be strong and resilient for the things that are to come, because in order for you to welcome in a better version of yourself, you have to be able to withstand a good amount of hardship and turmoil and change and shifts, because that is what's necessary in order to have the growth that you need in your life. We are entering 2026 feeling refreshed, feeling excited, feeling hopeful, and feeling aware. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone. Mwah.